Today we're going to go over how to solve equations that require multiple steps. Let's look at our first equation. 5 times x plus 3 plus 4 times x plus 2 equals 10. Well, this might seem overwhelming at first, but we have to just start piece by piece. Let's start by understanding what 5 times x really means. It means we have 5 x's, x plus x plus x plus x plus x. Then we have our plus 3. Then we have plus 4 more x's, x plus x plus x plus x. And finally, we have our plus 2. Well, now we could count up how many x's do we actually have. Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we can squish that all together and just call it 9 times x. And that makes sense because 5 plus 4 gives you 9. Now we keep going. We have a plus 3 and a plus 2. If we squish those together, we just get plus 5. And we know this whole equation equals 10. So even though this equation looked overwhelming at first, we were able to simplify it to a point now where it's fairly manageable. We now just need to get rid of the plus 5. We can do that by subtracting 5 from both sides. When you solve that out, what do you get? Well, plus 5 and minus 5 cancel out. So on the left, you just have 9 times x. On the other side of the equation, 10 minus 5, that's just 5. Now we just have to cancel out the 9 times. To cancel multiplication, you divide. Divide by 9. 9 divided by 9 cancels out, leaving you with just an x. On the other side of the equation, we also have to divide by 9. Well, 5 divided by 9, we can just leave as the fraction 5/9. Let's do one of these together. Let's look at the equation 3 times x plus 4 minus 7 times x minus 5 equals 6. Whew. Well, again, we start by looking at the things being multiplied by x. Here we have 3 times x minus 7 times x. Well, if you think 3 minus 7, you get what? 3 minus 7 gives you negative 4. So we can simplify those to say negative 4 times x. Then we can put together or simplify the plus 4 and the minus 5. What's 4 minus 5? 4 minus 5 is negative 1. So in our equation, we'll write minus 1. And this equation equals 6. Now we can solve for it just like any other equation. What is the first thing I should cancel in this equation? Remember to cancel addition or subtraction before multiplication or division. So we'll cancel the minus 1 by adding 1 to both sides. When you solve this, what do you get? Well, the minus 1 and plus 1 cancel out. So we're left with just negative 4 times x. On the other side of the equation, 6 plus 1 gives us 7. Now how should we cancel the negative 4 times? We'll cancel multiplication with division, so divide by negative 4. Negative 4 divided by negative 4 cancels out, so we'll just have our x. And on the other side of the equation, we have 7 divided by negative 4. Well, that'll be a messy fraction, so we'll just leave it and say it equals negative 7/4. Now it's time for you to try some of these on your own. Solve the equation 4 times x plus 3 plus 2 times x minus 5 equals 10. What does x equal? Well, you needed to start by simplifying 4 times x plus 2 times x. Well, 4 plus 2 gives us 6, so we'll have 6 times x. Then we can simplify plus 3 minus 5 to give us minus 2. And this is all equal to 10. The next thing you need to cancel is the minus 2, which you can do by adding 2 to both sides. When you solve this, minus 2 and plus 2 cancel out, so you're left with 6 times x. And on the other side of the equation, 10 plus 2 gives you 12. Now we need to cancel out the 6 times. Let's do that by dividing by 6. That'll cancel out, so now you just have your x. On the other side of the equation, 12 divided by 6 gives us an answer of 2. Now here's your last problem for today. 5 times x plus 1 minus 3 times x plus 5 equals 7. What is x equal to? Well, we can start by simplifying 5 times x minus 3 times x. And 5 minus 3 gives us 2. so we'll have 2 times x. Then we can simplify plus 1 and plus 5 and squish it together to get plus 6. This is all equal to 7. Next, we cancel out the addition. We'll remove the plus 6 by subtracting 6 from both sides. When we solve this out, plus 6 and minus 6 cancel out, so we're left with just 2 times x. On the other side of the equation, 7 minus 6 is 1. Now the last part of this equation is canceling out the 2 times. To cancel multiplication, you divide, so divide by 2. That'll cancel out, we're left with x. And on the other side of the equation, 1 divided by 2, we can just write as 1/2. So from today, the most important thing to remember is to simplify your equation before you go about solving.